Zombie apocalypse.
Welcome back, everybody. DJ Numismatics, and we got a box of copper to go through today. I'm seeing quite a few shield synths, but when I lift the box, it's fairly heavy, so hopefully we just have a bunch of shield synth enders and not a bunch in the rolls. That being said, if this box doesn't pan out to be the most exciting, we might pair it with another one if I can find another box of pennies to search. So, wish me luck. My last hunt produced that really cool looking, I'm pretty sure it's a cap die error. So hopefully we can find something like that in this one. Alright, let's crack this roll open and I'll bring you in on all my finds. We're on roll number 3 and we're going to have our first foreign of the box. And that's a newer, let's see, 2003 Canadian. I don't have my magnet with me, so I'll check it later and see if it's the magnetic version. First find is Canadian. Roll number 8, and we're going to have foreign number 2. And that is a 2000 Canadian. We're on roll 41, and we're going to have our third Canadian of this box. And that is a 1998. Boy, this box is pretty light, so I have a feeling we will most definitely be pairing this with another box next week. Let me finish up this disappointing roll and move on to the next. Well, the box is empty, and all we came up with was those 3 Canadians, a 2017 that has some gas bubbles in the rear there. You can see them across the back. I think it's a Philadelphia, sorry. And then I found a 2008 that's got some pretty wild, crazy toning on it. Both sides. I'll probably keep that one. It's just cool looking. Some really, really wicked toning. So, like I said before, we'll go ahead and pair this with my next box of pennies, and hopefully the next one does better. See you when I get that box. Well, like I said, since that first hunt was pretty weak with only 3 Canadians found, I was waiting to pick up another box, and lo and behold, I was able to get 2. So just in case it's just like the last one, we'll go ahead and make this a 3-box hunt. Let me pop this one open. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Let me go ahead and move one of these boxes out of the way, and I'll get this open, bring you in, show you what I find on top, and then we'll start it off. Well, I'm happy to say this one's already starting out better than the first one. Hopefully we get 30 out of both boxes, because look right there. We've got 1 wheat cent in her, and if I'm not mistaken, that's another. And then we got some older faces. That looks like it might be one right there too. Let's just see. Let me peel back. The paper on there. And it looks like a 70. And it is 73. So, at least I know that we're going to have at least 2 wheat cents in this box. And both of these boxes were packaged March 3rd, 2020. So, the last box I opened was packaged on this year. So, maybe we've got 2 boxes that are going to pay off, and we'll get 10 per box total out of the 3 boxes, since we didn't find any in the first. That being said, Let me move this back. I'm going to swap this one for this one, and we'll start with this 1973 ender. I'll bring you in on all my finds. Hopefully we get something good. Well, that didn't take long. First roll, and we got a wheat back facing us, and it is a 1953 Denver. And while I got you here, I noticed, where was it? Right here. We've got a Canadian as well. And that is a 1988. We're on roll number 4, and we're going to have Canadian number 2. And then I noticed, if you look, it was obverse facing. We got a 57 there, so that means we got wheat cent number 2 as well. And this one is a 1998 from Canada. And this here is a 57 from Denver. Pretty decent shape too. Same roll. We're going to have Canadian number 3, and that is a 1985. I'll check that off screen for the rounded or sharp 5. I think the sharp 5 is worth a little more, and if I got it, I'll bring you in. We're on roll 5, and we got wheat cent number 3. Rear facing. A little tough shape, but wheat cent nonetheless. And it looks like we got a focus 56 from Denver. Wheat cent number 3. So that means we'll have 5 at least from this box alone because we have the 2 enders. We're on roll number 6. 1 roll from the wheat cent ender, and I just ripped the end of this one. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Looks like we got another wheat cent ender. It's a 1958D. Let me go ahead and rip this thing the rest of the way open, and we'll go over it. So I got that open, and just like the ender said, it's a 1958D in pretty nice shape. Probably red-brown, maybe, if I'd have to say so. That one there, I would have to say, almost qualifies for being a stunner. Alright, let me go ahead and finish up this roll and see if we got any more. Same roll, we're going to have wheat cent number 5. And this one, I would say, qualifies for being a stunner. It's another 1956D in really beautiful shape. I'll check that under the scope to make sure it doesn't have any of the doubling or RPMs. And we'll move on to the rest of this roll. Same roll, and we got wheat cent number 6. And that is a 1956D as well. Not in anywhere near as good a shape. Let's see what else we can find. Same roll, and we got another wheat cent. And that's a 1929 S. Pretty slick, but I do believe the 29S has an RPM FS 501. Let me check and see if we got it, and if we got it, I'll bring you back in. Oldest wheat cent of the box, and I do believe that makes 7. So we'll have 9 total out of this box, no matter what. Same roll, and we're gonna have wheat cent number 8. And that's another 1956 out of Denver. We might just have a killer box here. We're about to jump into roll number 7, and it's the wheat back ender. just in case, let's take a close look at the other side. I can't even make out that date, but I think it's an 80, so let's go ahead and crack it open and see what that wheat ender is. And the wheat back ender is another 1958 out of Denver. Let me go ahead and finish up with this roll, and hopefully we get a bunch more. We're on roll number 9, and we got another wheat back showing. And that is I do believe that is a 44 from Denver. And while I got you here, I could have sworn I seen, yes I did, another set of wheats right here. And that is going to be a 1951D. I'll check that for the D over S off camera, and if we got it, I'll bring you back in. If not, we'll continue on with this roll. We're on roll number 9, and if you look here, where did it go? Right there, we've got some wheats showing out. This will be wheat cent number 12 already. If I can get it out of this roll here. Let me get these out of here. Yeah, let's flip it and see what we got. That's a 1945. And I do believe that is an S. And it is. Wheat cent number 12 from San Francisco, 1945. We're on roll number 12. And we're going to have a baker's dozen. Wheat cent number 13 is another, I think that's a 58. It is 1958 from Denver. And while I got you here, peeking out back here, I see in this date, we're going to have wheat cent number 14. And that is a 1955 out of Denver. Wheat cent number 14. We're on roll 13, and we're going to have wheat cent number 15. And that is a 1950 from Denver. We're on roll 14, and we got wheat cent number 16, I do believe. And that is a 1954 from Denver. I'll check that for the Shadow D. Well, it's got a beautiful reverse to it. And if I got it, I'll bring in. We're on roll 15, and I think we got silver in a roll here. Let's see what the heck this is. 10 cent. Got a hole in it. This is from, well, I don't even know. Indo-Chinese franchise. Let's see if we can find a date. 1937. I do believe we just found silver in a roll, in a penny roll. That is crazy. It looks silver. 10 cent. Chine franchise. Titre Poins. Huh. I do believe this is silver, 1937. I'm going to have to do some research on that. And at the end, I'll let you know what it is. It is a... Oh, if this thing does not want us... Republic of... I do believe that would be France. 1937. I do believe that might be silver. Actually, let me go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to do a little research right now. Well, I wish somebody went to punch a hole in it, because it is actually a pretty valuable coin. In MS-63, this is a $10 coin. and it is silver. It weighs 2.7 grams, I do believe, and melt value is like $1.50, I think, something like that on it. I can't remember. I guess I should have wrote it down. But if it wasn't for somebody's hole in it, it would have been a pretty valuable coin. No matter what, it's worth 3 rolls of pennies in melt value. It is a French Indochina coin. Pretty cool. Alright, let me see if I find a wheat cent in here now. And there's going to be, I didn't lay it out flat enough, so I didn't see the wheats on the back. We've got a 1957D in pretty decent shape. That would be wheat cent number 17. We're on roll 18, and we've got Canadian number 3 and wheat cent number, oh boy, I think this will be 18 or 19 now. And the Canadian is a 1999, and the wheat cent is a 1945 out of Philly. Wheat cent number 18. We're on roll 20, and we've got a 1936 here out of Philly. I'll check that for the double die off camera, but while I got you here, where was it? I seen it back here somewhere. I think it was right about here. We're going to have wheat cent number 20 in roll number 20. And that's a 1944 out of Denver. Oh, one more thing. We're going to have Canadian number 5, sorry. That's a 1977. We're on roll 22, and I've started to think about it, and I think I'm going to save that third box, and we'll search it at a different video because I'm finding so much in this one. Speaking of which, we've got wheat cent 21. That's a 1956 from Denver. Oh wait, sorry, that's 21. And I've seen here somewhere a set of wheats peeking out right there. So we're going to have wheat cent 22. And that is a 1957 from Denver. 2 more for the pile. I've got the 57D under the scope, and you can see right there that this is either going to be RPM 15 or 16, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can zoom in a little better for you. And you can see right here in the bottom the traces of the other one, and you can kind of see it up here too. I do believe this is RPM 15, if I had to be positive, but pretty cool. I do check a lot of my wheat cents and some of my older Lincolns for RPM, so we do have an RPM. We're on roll 17, and we got wheat cent number 23, I do believe. That's a 1956 from Philly, in pretty nice shape. And then I seen back here, we're gonna have wheat cent number 24 also, and that is another 1957D. I'll check that for an RPM, and if we got it, I'll bring you back in. We're on roll 18, and this is an awesome box because I see not only 1 wheat back, but 2. And we've got a runaway coin, and that is a 1945 out of Philly. And let's see, where was that other one here? Just had it. There it is. A rear facing 1946 San Francisco. Alright, let's see if we can find any more in this roll. We're on roll 30, and we're going to have wheat cent number 27. And that's another 1956 from Denver. Same roll. It looks like we're going to have wheat cent number 28. I must not have seen the wheats on it. And that is a 1945 out of Denver. We're at roll 31 and we got that wheat cent ender. So that's going to be wheat cent 29 right there. Let me crack it open and see what we got. And it's the only reverse facing one at least, so I don't know if we got any more. What do we got for roll for number 29? Another 1944 from Philly. We're on roll 17 and we just found wheat cent number 30. It's going to be tied for the oldest. It's a 1929 out of Philly. In pretty rough shape. We're on roll 34 and we had an obverse facing one. A 1948. I do believe that's a 48, or is that a 46? Nope, 48. Out of Denver. We're on roll 37, and we're going to have wheat cent number 32, and that is a 1945. I think that is an no, what's a D? In decent shape. And then let's say we're going to have wheat cent number 33 as well. Reverse facing. Let's flip it and see what we got. Another 1958 Denver. This has been a great box. We're on roll 38 and we're going to have wheat cent number 34. That is a 1950 from Denver. Wow, the really nice reverse. We're on roll 39 and we're going to have Canadian number 6, I do believe. That's a 1995. In really nice shape. We're on roll 40 and we're going to have a 1940 minted in Philly. Wheat cent number 35. Well, the box kind of cooled off a little bit. We're on roll 44 and we've got another wheat cent back. A little chewed up, but we've got another 1957 from Denver. If we got any RPMs, I'll bring you back in. And then what I got here, I noticed a date right here. This will be wheat cent number 37. And that's a 1956D. Decent shape. We're on roll 48 and two coins in from the end. Got another wheat cent. And that's going to be a 1950 out of Denver. And if you look here, we've got a date. If I can get it out of the roll here. That is going to be a 1953 out of Denver. Wheat cent 38 and 39. Hopefully we can find one or two more to make it to 40. same roll and one coin from the end, we got another wheat cent. And that one is going to be a 1944 out of Denver. That makes wheat cent number 40 with 2 rolls left to go. We're on roll 39 and we're going to have our oldest Canadian. And right behind that one, you can see we got a 55D. So the Canadian is a 1942 King George. And behind that one, we got a 1955D wheat penny. So that brings us to 41 wheat cents so far. Let me see if we got any more in this roll. Well, that last roll didn't have any wheat cents or varieties in it, so let's go ahead and do a wrap up. We ended up with 42, I do believe, wheat cents in total, or maybe it's 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4 is 24, plus 12 is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, I guess. We had 2 from the 20s, 1 from the 30s, 12 from the 40s, and 26 from the 50s, including the 157D RPM and a couple nice stunners. I also came up with 11 S-Mint cents. The only one I'm missing there is a 69S. I didn't find any 69S's in there. I found a 1974D that's in really nice shape. That'll check against my album. And I got a couple 72s here, and I put them under the scope, and I didn't want to bring you guys in on them, because I do believe they're one of the many different DDOs. I just got to do a little more research on them. We got 7 Canadians, including the 42 King George, and then we got that crazy 1937 silver 10-cent piece from French Indochina, I think is what it's from, Indochine. So by far this was my, oh, I guess I should say also, for my first box I did have 3 more Canadians, which would have brought my total to 10. I don't have them with me. I've already got those put away since it took me so long to get this next box. So right here was my best penny box ever. I think the most wheat cents I've ever found in a box was 25, and then that box also had one Indian head. I think it was a 1900. So this was a pretty exciting box for me. So like always, I'm going to post a link right up here for my eBay page. I put some of my finds on there. That 57D will probably make it on there. I don't know about the 10-cent French Indochine, because it's got that hole in it. It is cool, though. It is worth, in melt value, $1.50. So basically I got 2 rolls of pennies, in 3 rolls of pennies, sorry, in 1 silver coin. So like always, springtime's in the air. Hopefully you're out either hunting down coins or hunting down fish, one of the two. So until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy hunting.
Here we go.